Hello guys and girls, welcome to Global Coding Cohort. I hope all of you went through the portions that we learned till yesterday. If there are any new viewers and if you don't know Python, then you may watch all the videos that are posted before. Videos means I mean the live streams. Those saved copies will be available there on my channel. You can access those at any time by going to my channel and under live section you can find all those live streams. I hope my voice is clear to all of you, and I also hope all of you can see my screen. If there is any issue, please let me know in the comments. Today we will learn about Python methods. It's nothing other than function, okay? So what's the use of function? When should we opt to write a function? So when you're in a scenario where you want that particular piece of code to be reused at different place. That means, for example, let's assume a funny scenario, something like this. I'm telling firstly how to perform addition, then you have to perform multiplication and division over the result. Then again, do some random operation. Again, use that. Again, you should do multiplication and division. Then do some random operation. Then do a multiplication division. So likewise, when I tell something like this, you can see that multiplication and division is coming after every operation, every random operation, isn't it? So now what can you understand is that instead of writing something like this, for example, let's something like this, a is equal to 1, b equal to 1, some random operation, okay, some random operation. So random after operation comes after every multiplication and division. Random operation we cannot uh, say we cannot say only this operation happens. So that might happen only one time. But this multiplication and division is repeatedly happening, isn't it? Random operation, multiplication, division, some random operation. If this is the scenario that you are currently working on, you can see some random operation which is happening at once, and you can see this multiplication division is getting repeated 2 times. For example, I am showing this a small scenario. In real time, you might get a bigger task itself, which will be useful at different scenario. Okay, so at that time you have to put the task as a function. If there are many related tasks, but specific to a, okay, I will come to that later. I'll tell you that later. First, let's see. this task, small tasks, reusable tasks are written within small process task. Means small process written as a function. Okay, some random process, some random process. This is assume that this is a random process. Then we are doing multiplication and division by 2. Okay, or let's do something like this. Multiplication, multiplication of a into 3 equal to a by 2. Then some random operation. What combination? Let's do a mod b into a. Let's copy these two lines because that's gonna be repeated exam. Then again some random operation. A plus 100 or a minus 100. Some random operation is gonna happen. See, here itself, this is a small scenario I am showing. Here we are able to type the same line 2 times. This is written again here, isn't it? It is repeated, isn't it? So what can we do at at this kind of scenario? What you can do is you can write this as a function, these two as a function. Got it? Now let's see what's the syntax for method in Python. Method or function, both are same. Okay, in Python we call it as method function. Got it? It's written over there. Its syntax is def. Def is a keyword. Okay, def, then method name. Whatever comes in angle bracket will be replaced by a name. Okay, then or with column, then leave it tab space. Then whatever written inside, whatever code written inside will be considered to be present within this method. Got it? This is a normal method. First, let's see a normal method, sample method. The name of the method is sample. Okay, so let's print hello world. So now let's method is ready. We have to execute this cell. Only then the method will be ready. Okay. Now let's call the method. We are calling the method's name sample. Okay. Sample. If you call it, sorry, what happened? Suddenly my browser got restarted. I don't know why. Oh, all those button inside also got deleted. Okay, no problem. Let's try to continue. Create method. Dot sample. Then now it's called the. So hello folks is printed over there. Void method means it will not return anything. Okay, it will just do that operation. It will not return any values. Now let's see another sample that returns a value. What returns? Or let's simply give sample. I'm giving the same name sample, okay, to create the next function also. As it's just an example, okay. Create method that returns the value. So I'm going to return here hello. Oh, now when I call reports, this is returned. This has returned hello folks. So for example, if you try to, you will get an error. This will not return anything, is it? So when you sample one, let's keep it as sample one. This is let's consider this as sample two. Okay. When you just call it, it will execute. But as it will not return any value, if we put a variable there and we put a variable there and call that function, then it will just print and return will have nothing. But at the same time, because this is not returning any value, but at the same time, here sample is returning a value. So here temp will have hello folks in it because the string is returned. When this function is called, this string hello folks is returned to temp. Got it? Return is a keyword, that's why its color got changed. Okay. This is not a keyword, its color is changed to indicate that this is a function name. Now let's see the function or method create method that gets a value. Method with argument. Argument are returned to receive some values, okay, with arguments. Without arguments. here, what is argument means? If we want to pass any value to the specific function to do any operation, then we will do something like this. Example 2. Now I am going to give A. I'm going to give A over there. And I'm going to return A fixed 1. So this variable is written there to receive any value in A, and this line will add 1 to the value received and return it to the user. Correct? Either we can return or we can just print also. Both is supported. Okay. If we if we get value, it is not necessary always we have to return. It's not like that. You can also print. You can also just print it. Okay. So now can be equal to sample 2 of, for A, I'm going to pass 1. Directly also I can give. So now temp is holding 2. You can pass any value directly like this, or you can specify A equal to 2 also. But if you do not give any, if you do not pass any argument to a function that is expecting an argument, then you will get some error, something like this. So sample missing a required positional argument A. Missing one required positional argument A. That means it is expecting a value. It is expecting one argument. It is expecting a value to be passed to it. The variable that expects a value is A. This is what its meaning is. So if you see this error anywhere in your career, you should understand it in this way. Got it? And take notes along with me. Oh, there is an issue. Sorry, I didn't listen when this disappeared, so that I will explain it once again. Okay. So here we created a function without argument, and we got it. Now we try to create a function, a method with argument. So the argument is called A, and if I give A, this is called argument. For instance, I give one variable as A. This A will receive the value that we pass while we call this method. Correct? And the received value will be added with 1 and will be returned back to the user. So when we call this function, we can just directly pass the value also, and this will get executed. When this get executed, temp will get 2. Another way, we can also specify A equal to 2, and this way also we can call the function. But at the same time, if you do not pass any value to a function that expects some value to be passed, then you will get this error. So what is this error? Missing one required positional argument A. What does this mean is, is expecting a value to be passed. Missing. It is missing one required position argument. And what is expecting the value? A variable called a is expecting a value from the user. So whenever you see this kind of error, you should take that error in this sense and pass the this required type of value to it. Correct? Now let's see a function with method with two arguments. It is not just limited to two arguments or three arguments. You can give n number of arguments that you need. Okay, based on your requirement, you can have it. Now I'm going to give a comma b, and this function will return a plus b. Correct. Now I'm going to pass to variable 1 comma 2. Sorry, sample 3 is. So now we got its result added, and its result is 3. We are just doing addition operation of a and b, isn't it? So we got 3. When we do not mention, whatever value we give at first will be assigned to a and will be assigned to next second value will be assigned to the next variable that we have mentioned here. But if we mention specifically, we can even give 1 to b and 2 to a. If we mention it specifically, then we can even interchange the value to each other. But if we do not mention anything, the first variable will be assigned to a, and the second variable will be assigned to the b. That means second value will be assigned to second value will be assigned to the second variable that is present over here, and the first value will be assigned to the first variable that is present here. Got it? Now let's see another type of function. These are I'm writing these many variants of function to represent different scenarios. Okay. Method default value. So before, in the previous example, we saw two variables that are expecting compulsorily two variables. Even if you do not give us one variable, it will return the error something like this. And based on that, you can understand the error and pass the required value to the required argument. Now sample. Now I'm going to pass A, B, and I'm going to assign a default value to B, which is nothing but 0. Yes. So in this case, this function will work even when work I give two variable also. This will also work in situation even if I don't give just if I do not give one variable. If I give if I give only one variable, sorry, value. So as I passed one to it, this value is assigned to A, and I do not give a second value for B. So by default it took this 0 and added it and returned the result. So 1 plus 0 is 1, isn't it? That's why we got 1 over here. For example, I'm giving a equal to 5, sample 4, a equal to 5. As we do not specify my value for b, it is just returning 5 plus 0 is equal to 5, because by default we have given, if user has not given, we are telling the function to use this b is equal to 0. Got it? But in this case, if we just give value to b, and if we do not give value to a, then this will return error. Got it? If we just pass a single value, then that will be considered as a value for the variable which is present at first. Got it? Clear? Anything else? Anything else? Okay. Now let's see. Now let's code our task that which we saw initially. So here we saw some random operation, multiplication, division, random operation, multiplication, division, random operation. Random operation is happening only once, but multiplication, what can we observe is multiplication and division is happening with the same variable and with the same numbers after each operation. That means instead of writing this line after each operation, after each random operation, what we can do is we can just make that as a function md. Let's name that method as md with argument a. We can, if we have just a single line of code, we can also write it in something like this. Okay, in a single line itself. If we just have only one line of code, then we can just specify the line of code just the same line itself. But when we have multiple lines, then we have to enter, press enter, and write all those multiple lines here. Correct. So what are we going to do here? We are going to multiply with 3 and divide by 2. I'm going to return that to. So how can now how can we redesign this code is, here we have 7 lines of code. How can we reduce this is, can we replace this with the md of a? Yes, we can, isn't it? Now we can also replace this with md of a. Got it? Now we are reusing the same line of code at different place. Got it? We are doing some random operation. After every random operation, we are reusing the function md, which is holding those lines of code to perform multiplication and division operation. Got it? Take notes along with me. Write it in a way that you understand, so that even if you revise this portion later, you can recall these concepts. Understand the basics thoroughly. Now let's see how to create a custom function or anonymous and non-named function. A no-named, how to create no-named function. Anonymous function or method. Okay, function or method. Here we have something called lambda. This much time we saw creating a function with this syntax. And now we are going to see another syntax to create method, one line function or anonymous function. Okay, so we can write this. We have lambda. It's okay. I'm going to, okay, not even that. I'm going to write my own name and equal to lambda f plus 1. So its syntax is some variable equal to lambda some variable. Sorry, this variable is optional. If you want, you can give, but the exact syntax is this much: lambda some variable, then that variable with operations. Any any operation, any operation. Okay, here we can do any operation with that variable. And once after doing that operation, the value result will be returned to the user. And to receive that output, we can assign this function to a variable. And that is, in our example, that receiving variable is my name. Got it? And what happens here means, when I can call this with this variable name itself. I can make a call by using just this variable name. Got it? And if I pass 1 to it, it will return 2 to me. Got it? Understood? This is a one-line function. Here we can do any operation. As I have given plus over here, that means this function do not have a specific name like this. Here we have an MD as name, sample tree as name, isn't? But this function do not have a specific name to it. We are calling it just by using this variable to which this function is assigned to. Got it? I said to you till now, functions are used to write codes of tasks or small processes that are going to be reused. Now these are small tasks. Assume this is an addition task, not just for this method, for any method, either for anonymous method or for the named method. We are using that for a specific small task. Now we are going to learn class. I'm telling this story, I'm creating this story for you to just understand why we are going to class. Okay, it is to encapsulate related operations and data together under single umbrella to bring related processes and its relevant data under a single umbrella. Under a single umbrella means under a single bag. You are packing that in, you are putting all these small tasks inside a small bag, inside a big bag. You are putting this small. Assume these small functions as a small packets and class as a big bag. Okay. This is class, and these small packets are methods and these are data variables. Okay. These are data. You are putting everything in a bag, and that is called class. You are encapsulating all of those. For example, we can consider something like this, right? Class name is consider math. Let's simply assume this is math, okay? And the relevant variables are the add something, so subtract, multiplication. Got it? For example, I'm showing you something like this, okay? To give some meaning to this, to the example, I have used this as example, basic maths, okay? Basic math. And you can also another scenario is you can if you do not have any line of code, if you just want to declare that function, then you can just use pass variable pass. Okay, pass is a keyword to define any function, an empty function. It has no meaning. It is just declared. That's it. It is just declared to create a framework of okay, these are all the costs that are going to come. See, for example, you are a team leader and you are going to assign a task to your team member. So at that time, you can define a class something like this to for him to easily get a picture of what all things he is going to write. So you will give this structure to your team member, and your team member will write codes whatever comes here. He will fill the code. Okay, got it. So at those scenarios, you can use pass and give it to your team member. Got it? Okay. In class, we have certain access modifiers like a syntax. Before that, let me tell you the syntax. Okay, this is what the syntax. Okay, class is the keyword. Then the class name. Or else let me write it here. No problem. Class class name. This can be replaced with anything. Okay. Then a tab space. Then here comes your method name. Then again, and here comes code inside the method. Then dot dot dot. Any number of methods you can have. Okay, this is the basic syntax of class. Arrow this big arrow marks are tab space. Okay, because when you write something over here, that will come. So we are getting double tab space over here. That's it. That is what I have mentioned with a big line. Got it? Let's keep this class aside. Now let's see the examples. Okay, I'll tell you. Have you noted this syntax? I hope you noted. There are three access modifiers. Public, protected and private. We have these three types of access modifiers. Meaning of public is, if we mention a variable as a public variable, if we define a public variable, then this variable can be accessed all over from anywhere, from accessed by anyone. Correct. Protected means it can be accessed only by its family members, like child classes, only by its child or derived classes, only by its protected data variables of data variables can be accessed only by a class family members. For example, A is the parent means and B is the child means. Protected variables of A can be accessed by its child B. Others cannot access. But in case of public variables, they can be accessed, not just a variable, public numbers. Those numbers can be accessed by anyone who gets in relation with A. But in case of protected, only children can access parents' protected numbers. Got it? Then we saw something called private. Those private variables can be accessed only by the parent itself. For example, if class A is having some certain private variables, then those private variables can only be accessed by A itself. It will not be shared even to its child classes. Got it? Understood? You can always rewatch the video until you understand any concept. So that in live I will be explaining each concept one time. If I find that to be repeated one more time, I will explain. But for those concepts which I have explained only for one time, in that case, if you still don't understand, you can always rewatch the video and you can rewatch it until you understand that the specific concept. Okay. So class sample class with variables. I am going to show you the difference between public, private, and protected features. Okay. Mm, okay. Let's simply type public var equal to 1. Protected var equal to 3. Now I'm going to call that class temp equal to sample class. Now you can see can access just that public variable. Others are not visible. Even if I give that, yes, this can be accessed like this, but you can see this is not showing any suggestion. Understood? If I want to access any uh, other variable, then I have to know that. In case of private variable, that itself is not possible. But in case of protected variable, if we know its name, at least if we know its name, we can access it. As a private variable, even if we give correct name, even if we know that it has some variable like this, and even if we try to access it, we cannot access it. That is the difference between public, private, and protected. Got it? And for the to describe more about protected variable, I will explain it to you once after teaching you few concepts. Okay. Now let's see a basic class. What is the basic class? Okay. Let's take the same basic math example. I'm going to put the public variable called a equal to 1. But here, in addition, I'm going to return a plus 1 and subtraction a minus 1, multiplication, or let's add 2. Okay. A into 2 and for division variable, right? Let's call 10 equal to basic math. Instead of let's write it in a standard form, basic math. Okay, basic math. Starting of each word will be capitalized. That is a coding standard. Okay, basic math. And I'm going to access add. Add is one more thing. Okay. Yeah. We did not pass this a over here, right? That's why this error came. Here we are going to give the same a that which we have defined with it as public inside this class. Okay, no problem. Let's do something like this. Let's directly pass the value. No problem. In real time scenario also we will do the same. Only we will not have we will not keep something like this. Mostly we will be passing variables of it. Okay. So, got it. I missed one more thing. We should try to construct a something like this and put self over there and then put simply pass because I do not want no problem. I do not want to initialize anything so that I do pass over there. Now I get When I pass 1 to it, it's returning that plus 2, isn't it? And for the same, now this is an object, okay. In this, using this object, I'm accessing those functions that or methods that are present inside this class. Okay. Now, this will work for all those other functions also. I'm going to pass the same to all. So multiplication to division. Okay. In this way also, you can. This is basic math one. Okay. Let's consider this as one because we can do the same thing in different ways to show you different scenarios how we can use this thing. I'm naming this as basic math one. Okay. Now let's see another scenario how we can see now let's assume that I just want to pass. I do not want to pass values individually to each function. Assuming that I'm going to pass same value. This will be helpful when I'm going to give different values to different functions. Okay. Now assume a situation that I do not want to pass different values to different function. I'm going to pass a common value to all the functions. So in this scenario, what I can do is I can do something like this. So I will initialize self.a equal to the received a. This is what I'm going. Class will receive variables in this way. Okay. So these are in methods we are keeping a here to get values, and similarly we are going to write a here inside this constructor in it to receive the value, and to use it in other places within the class, I'm going to assign this received a to self.a. So now here I'm going to pass common value to all of the other methods, isn't it? So in this case, I will just pass this self. So now the self.a can be accessed by function. I need not pass values specifically to each and every methods. This self, it can access all methods can access the variables through this self. Okay, with the help of self, all methods can access the values present in it. So to make it happen, I am assigning the received a to this self.a. Got it? So now in this situation, it can be equal to basic math 2 of I want to pass a variable, right? So in this case, I'm going to pass 5. Now, when you just call simply add, you'll get 7 over there. Happens for all. Sorry, to call it. Do understood? Now let's see another scenario. Day or scenario 1. Values to different methods. Scenario 3, common input value to all methods, but will call method if necessary, if needed, if required. Got it? Scenario 3, I will not individually call any method. I don't want to call individually any method. Common input and all values should, all operations should happen while I call just the class. This much time we are calling here, and accessing its individual results one by one, isn't it? Now I just want to call only that basic math 3, and I want to see all of its results printed. So in this case, how we can do is, I'm going to call all those functions, and I'm going to replace these return. Okay, no problem. I'm going to print. So in this scenario, where did I edit? Oh, sorry. I edited that. Okay. So I edited. Replace the code. No worries. Okay. Scenario 3. Now when I just call basic math 3, sorry, 3 of, okay, mixing an argument, I will pass 5 over here, and you can see all the functions are being called and printed its result. This is what init does. When we call the class, all the all those code that is present within the constructor will be executed. Got it? Now, individually also I can call and know its individual results. But when I call class itself, all those results is visible for me. In this case, if I want to store it in some database, I can write it in a database also. The only thing is, let's see what happens if I try to return. It will not return. But simply to show you that scenario, what's happening, I'm going to try to return. It will not return. I'm just going to show you the scenario, that particular scenario. Okay. Basic 3 of 5. Now you receive error. Should return none. What is it writing? Understand the error. Okay. try something like this. You say unit should return none. Correct. But we are forcing it to return an integer. That's why this happens. Understood? All this code is not needed. Just not error. Understand. Underscore is not a standard form, but please not error. Wrong way. Or let's have the function as wrong way. Basic math wrong way. So that it clearly delivers its meaning. So that when you revise this portion, you can easily get it. What do about this? Got it? So that's it for today, folks. Uh, Go through this portion, understand it clearly. If you have any doubts, let me know in the comments. I will start a Telegram meeting so that you can directly talk to me. You can clear all your doubts. So that's it for now. See you with another concept tomorrow at 8 p.m. Like this, share share a few words about this to your colleagues and support our community. Thank you so much. Bye bye.